College football, Thursday night should be an entertaining one. UNC Pitt. There's some games out there. I'm just going to kind of run through them. I'll have my picks up on Wednesday. Mississippi State at Auburn. Intriguing. Georgia at Tennessee, as I mentioned, will be there with the Outkick Tailgate Tour. The last chance, I would say, to the extent that there's a chance at all, that anybody in the regular season could give Georgia a little bit of a run. You've got Texas A&M going up against Ole Miss, NC State, Wake Forest. A lot of interesting games that maybe you didn't think would be interesting coming into the season. What stands out at you, Furman?
Well, I think the game going on between Texas A&M and Ole Miss is the game that I want to see unfold, because you have an offense that's been extremely dynamic all season long at Ole Miss. But I think what also gets lost on people is how much this Ole Miss offense leans on its ground game above all else. But all expectations and signs point to Ole Miss being healthier at the skill positions this week than they've been over the last handful of weeks. I think they were pretty fortunate to get to the window with a cover against Liberty on Saturday. It was more Malik Willis with brain cramps every time Liberty had a chance to find a way into the back door. But in comes Texas A&M, and you can make the case that other than Georgia, this is the second best defense in the entire country. We'll put them in the same vein as the Wisconsin Badgers. And when you look at A&M offensively, Zach Calzada was good on the opening drive, struggled mightily in the middle. But this is an A&M team that I think can run the ball effectively with their two-headed monster against the Rebels. And right now, I would say, and I know they beat them on the field, but the power numbers didn't suggest it at the time and still probably don't for most folks. I would make Alabama a favorite. I think Texas A&M is a better football team at this juncture of the season than Alabama. And the reason I say that isn't because of quarterback play, where Alabama has a massive edge. I just have major concerns about the Crimson Tide on the offensive line. It's an area that LSU was able to exploit, that maybe Auburn can push them around in the Iron Bowl. And I get the feeling that there's a lot of optimism and reason for enthusiasm around what Jimbo has going on, a team with a settled quarterback spot, trending in the right direction. And they had a massive recruiting coup over the weekend, I believe, landing the number one prospect in terms of college, high school rankings going in.
Still, maybe the hay's not all in the barn on that one before all is said and done. Although we'll talk about that.
True.
Walter Nolan is the name.